Secrets Unwrapped is brought to you in part by White Rocks Design Studio at Turcotte Design, who has been serving Southern Vermont for over 20 years. Fish Donkey, the future of tournament fishing. Targets Unlimited, Mercer Sports. Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped hot sauce with that big craft heat and that big craft taste. Corker Boots, P-Line, Sugar Mountain Trading Company. The Outdoor Experience Guide Service, who has been serving Southern Wisconsin for over 20 years. Cooler Guard Spray with the cleaning power of enzymes. Okuma Fishing, Hoffman Lures Incorporated, and a proud member of the Southwest Chamber of Commerce. Secrets Unwrapped. I'm your host, Chris Bates, and boy, what a time I'm having here at the Battenkill Fly Fishing Festival. It's a mouthful, folks. Believe me, it's here in Manchester, Vermont, and I'm having a great time. Met a lot of people, and right now we're going to talk with Paul Starring from Lopstick Outfitters, and it's really interesting here. You're in Maine, correct?
No.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, yep.
Yeah. I know. Maine, New Hampshire, yeah, you know, you start talking about this.
It all fits kind of together in people's minds.
Right.
New England, northern New England. But yes, we're at the very tip of New Hampshire, right near the Canadian border.
Oh, that's even better yet.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really been up that way. Mm-hmm. So back up a little bit. What is Lopstick Outfitters?
So Lopstick Outfitters is a part of Lopstick, is the name of the umbrella of the whole thing. So okay. Lopstick is actually we have cabins, lodging. Mm-hmm. We have the outfitter portion, which is us. So we're the fly shop, guide service for fly fishing, upland bird hunting as well. And then we also have recreation. So we rent snowmobiles, UTVs, canoes, kayaks, and all of that
right,
as well.
Right.
So it encompasses a whole big, a bunch of stuff.
How did you personally get started in the outfitting business?
With this, so I live down actually in Littleton, New Hampshire, in the White Mountains region. I started fly fishing as a kid, then went through life, decided to become a guide, was guiding on my own, and I got introduced to the head guide, Bill Bernhardt, and got hired on. So this will be my 8th season with Lopstick Outfitters,
right.
And I've been going up there every summer. Our season's about mid-May to mid-October, and just guiding on the Upper Connecticut River.
You know, I find that interesting that fishing in New England, so I'm from the Midwest, mm-hmm. and there's always open water somewhere mm-hmm. in the Midwest.
Yeah.
But I've noticed in New England, there's open water, but it's hard to access the open water.
Yes.
So fishing in New England, it has a really short season when you think about it.
Yeah, it's iced. It's under ice most of the time, or it's really too cold. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what's the next thing that you do? Do you stay there all year round, or are you basically the fishing end of it, and then there's upland guys? So
I mean, we do the fishing, and then in October, that's when the upland guide season starts, and we have 2 other guides who guide for that, and they'll go into November a little bit, but then once that all ends, we'll do a little bit of pike fishing in certain areas in November, but once it gets too cold, then the season's over, and we're just getting ready for the next season.
So what do you require of your clients when they come? I want to make a reservation with you. Mm-hmm. I'm coming to trout fish. What do you require of me?
All you're going to really need is a New Hampshire fishing license and then just a desire to get out there and have some fun. We'll take beginners, it doesn't matter, experienced, and we'll get them on the water. And just
do you have all the gear?
We do. We'll outfit, so the guides each, we have our own guide boats. So we have drift boats. We have all the rods. We provide the terminal tackle. Full day trips, we'll do a shore lunch, which is provided as well. We'll get the grills out and we'll grill up some marinated chicken or kielbasa or something else. And we all have our own thing we do. So you just have to bring yourself. We even have rentals for waders and rods. So if you're completely new to it, and you don't have the gear and you just don't want to commit to buying all the stuff, you can come in, get some advice at the shop, get your waders, get your rod, get your license, and then head to the water and just go have some fun.
Wow. So this is fly fishing only, or is it spin cast?
Yeah, no, so, well, there are some general regulations, areas for spin casting. People can, so some of the lakes, people will get out and troll and do that. So there's plenty of people out there with their, their boats trolling and doing that. But where we guide, we do fly fish only.
Okay.
And we have 2 fly fish only stretches. And they're below, we have 2 tailwater fisheries actually too. So, which meaning that's cold release water. So we're able to fish right through the whole summer at the hottest because that water stays cold.
Right.
And we're pursuing rainbows, browns, brook trout. We have 2 runs of landlocked salmon in the spring and the fall. So just a lot of opportunity.
So I'm always looking for the what do I want to say? The experience of the challenge.
Right.
So, and I said this to another guy about, I had a hunt club for many years and I started with a 12 gauge and I had gun dogs and pointers, and I come to find out that a 12 gauge was too big, even though I scaled down my shells. I went to a 20 gauge, found it to be a little too big, even though I still scaled down. I scaled all the way down. I tried the 28 gauge, 16 gauge. I ended up on a 410. For me, the challenge was trying to kill a pheasant.
Right.
Very, very hard because you're shooting at a dime, right? The headshot.
Yeah.
Almost impossible. I could never do it. Could knock it down, dogs come, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Trout fishing. 4'6", ice fishing reel, 2-pound test. Spin cast.
Yep.
Is that a challenge, or would it be a challenge with, say, a 5-weight? Would that be
a challenge to go out fly fishing and using it? Yeah, and fly fishing isn't just, so a 5-weight is a typical rod that most people are going to use when they're out there, 9'5". The great thing about our water is you're going to have times when the dries are coming off and you can neck it down to like a 4-weight. And you can go small stream fishing and you can neck it down to a 2-weight and go for these smaller brook trout that are in the streams. So, and you're going to have more cover. So you're going to, it's a little more technical of knowing where you're casting and all that.
Right.
So the thing with the fly fishing is, I see it as there's so many different variables, so many different ways that you can do it, that there's challenges in each of them.
But is it possible for a 2-weight to go catch a trophy?
I mean, it's possible. It is possible,
but that's what I'm saying about the challenge.
Want to do. What you want to do is, we also say, ethically, you want to use a good weight rod that you're going to be able to bring that fish in well, right? And then you also want to get the fish to the net. That's always nice,
right?
And not exhaust that fish. Like if you go lighter, then you're going to have to fight it a little bit, right? So yeah, but a 5-weight is a challenge because you're not only just, it's not just dry fly fishing. Sometimes it's nymphing, and and sometimes you're going to be throwing some streamers. So you're going to be doing some different techniques.
So
too.
I think people miss that. I think people miss the challenge instead of just going, I'm going fly fishing, fly angling. I think they miss the challenge.
Yeah, and I think we try to encourage people what have you done? What do you like to do?
Right.
And then we try to offer something a little different too. So as people get better at casting maybe a bigger weight rod, and we'll be do you want to go pike fishing? So we'll actually go pursue northern pike as well. And so we kind of gauge where they're at and be if they want that challenge, and sometimes the challenge is just going from fishing, weight fishing to now going in a drift boat and trying something new, or trying a small stream or going to a pond and doing still water. Right. So a lot of times it's the different, just the different things that you can do.
See, that to me is a fun time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, before we run out of time, what would be my go-to to say I'm looking for an outfitter? What do I need to look for? Because there's thousands of them.
There's a bunch of different, and there are guides up in the area. We're an Orvis endorsed outfitter and a dealership. Okay. And Lopsic has actually been part of that for almost 20 years.
Wow.
So, I mean, Orvis we we try to live up to the name of Orvis is what we do, and we want to provide, you know, a great day, a professional day, you know, good gear, quality gear, and most importantly, just it's about having a fun time. Right. It's about the experience, and so we create the full experience because, you know, we all know there's hard days outside. You know, the weather's bad and all that. So we want to create an amazing experience, and so we're, you know, being an Orvis endorsed outfitter, we were the 2023 Orvis endorsed outfitter of the year. We won that last year award. Wow. So
that's phenomenal.
We try to live up to that every year, you know, and try to attain that. That's where.
So where are you guys located, and how do people find you?
Yeah, so you can find us right up in Pittsburgh. Of course, we're on 10 Metallic Road, but we're online, lopstickoutfitters.com. Okay. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and we just try to, you know, that's a good place to find out what's going on. Right. Fishing reports. You know, different events, and just to see what's going on up in the area. All right. You know, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. All right, folks, hang tight. We'll be back with more Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped right after.
Hi, I'm Stephen Hand with Maine Sport Outfitters here in Rockport, Maine, and you're watching Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped.
I'm gonna let this bad boy go, but wow, look at that fish.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Wow. Stay tuned for your Outdoor Tip of the Week. Hey everybody, Chris Bates, host of Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped TV Show with your Outdoor Tip of the Week. So many people have asked me, how do I find the right rod to go fishing with? Now, that's a big question to ask, but I'm going to try to do my best with this tip. A lot of people go and they buy a rod first, and then they go, oh, it looks good. I think I'll check the backbone. Check the reel seat, yeah, it looks really good. But what they don't do is when they get it home, they don't know if it's going to fit the reel. I go out, I bring my reel with me. Why do I bring my reel with me? When I find a rod I like, I check it out. I go, oh, let's see if the reel seats will hold. You put your reel in, tighten her down, right? And there you have it. It fits perfect. Sometimes I like the aluminum reel seats. They fit better on your reels. This one is a plastic composite, which they're okay, but they have a tendency to crack in the cold weather. Also, you want to put your reel on and test your rod. Look at the balance. This is what we're talking about, total balance for the rod. That's how I look for my fishing rods. With that, that's your Outdoor Tip of the Week. Unwrapped. I'm your host, Chris Bates, and boy, what a great time I am having here at the Battenkill Fly Fishing reception. And they have this big festival that starts Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. But we're here in this really cool building, and there's all kinds of artists. And I came across one of my favorite fish, the brook trout, and we have Stephen here, the artist. Tell us a little bit about who you are. And how in the world did you get started in brook trout?
Well, I have been both a fisherman and interested in fish and an artist, and never stopped doing that since I was about the age of 4. So it made sense that eventually later in life that the fish and the fishing would come together with my artwork. I work in several different mediums, and trout is definitely one of my favorite subject matters. And I'm also a natural science illustrator, but usually it's physiology.
So I have a question. I love brook trout, right?
Yep.
And I noticed a detail. How do you get that detail so crisp and clear like that?
This started out as a pen and ink drawing, and it's all stippled. There's no lines. Everything's done with dots with a rapidograph pen, and then it's hand tinted. But being an illustrator, come back from that, I'm obsessed with detail.
So I noticed, I can see that all the little dots.
Yep.
How long does something like this take to do?
There may be a total of 30 hours in that.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's really mostly the tinting part too. But that's it. And the brook trout, these is a male and female. It's a mating pair. The name of this is Native Rituals. And so I've got the background, which would be an area in the stream that brook trout would spawn, and so the whole setup is there for that.
Wow.
So
and you got other paintings here. How do people find you? Like, if somebody was looking for your art, where would they find you?
I have a website called stormtreestudio.com. And that's the best way to see. Or you can Google Steven DeSerbo.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure
I appreciate it. All right, folks, hang tight. We'll be back with more right after this.
Bennett, small mammals biologist with the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department, and I work with bats. You may know that some of our bat species are in trouble. In fact, they've declined by over 90% in Vermont and all across the eastern U.S. and Canada from a disease called white nose syndrome. But there are things that you can do to help. You can tell us if you know where bats are. So if you have a colony of bats, lots of bats living in your attic, your barn, your bat house, that's really helpful information to us. So you can report that on our website at www.vtfishandwildlife.com. You can also go there for information about how you can volunteer. You can become a citizen scientist and help us count bats in the summer. And you can also find out how to safely get bats out if you don't want them living in your attic. So for more information on that, how you can conserve habitat and help bats, please go to our website or give us a call, 802-786-00.
Pinot here at Pin Oak Ridge Farms, located in Delavan, Wisconsin. Today what I'm going to show you is some lollipop chops is what we call them. So anyways, what we did, these are from French racks, which is the most expensive cut on the lamb. Just get some out here to show you. And what we did is we marinated them in our Greek marinade overnight in this vacuum sealed bag. There. That's what they look like. So we just got the grill going here on coals. It's low heat, and they're not going to take long at all. So we're just going to pepper them on here. So usually everybody stands around the grill, and lamb does not need to be well done. Lamb is way better off to be medium or to a rare. So see that one side is already cooked that fast. They're looking pretty good. And typically what we do is we just put like a paper towel or a napkin around the bottom of the bone and we eat them right away. You really gotta be diligent about sticking around the grill when you're doing these. They're looking amazing. I don't even know how long it's taken, maybe 2-3 minutes. Lamb is the leanest red meat, domesticated animals, I should say. So this is what we do. Just get a napkin, like that. And voila.
Hi, I'm Nicole Green, owner of Artistic Kills Taxidermy. You're watching Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped with Chris Bates.
Would you like to have your business on Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped? For more information, email us at osuradiotv@gmail.com.
Okay, we are in the what room?
Egg incubation area.
Okay.
Okay? So once those eggs are treated with diamond and they're disinfected, then they would come over into this area, and they come over. It takes them a while to water harden and everything.
Yeah,
so it's not something that happens in 15 minutes. So
darn it, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it's because we do a large amount of salmon. Often we'll do 4 to 5 million eggs.
Wow.
So
I was going to ask that, 4 to 5 million eggs.
Yes.
Wow.
Depending on the year, and every year is slightly different. So these are steelhead eggs from the springtime, and because we don't take as many, and it's just as easy to. So what would happen with those eggs after we shocked them and picked them, the salmon? We would tray them into these eggs because they're easier to care for.
Got it.
But as steelhead, they're easy to care for. We don't have as many. So these eggs are almost eyed up. They're almost ready to go. Next week they'll probably start eyeing up. You can probably open that for you if you can get you have a little better look.
Oh, I see. Oh, wow.
I'll actually steal a couple.
Okay, let me.
And you can see that the bad egg there is white.
Let me just get it. Okay. Wow. So how many eggs does this hold? Give or take.
It depends, but they usually put about 2.5 quarts in there.
Oh, okay.
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 It depends on the size of the egg. It depends on the species.
Yeah.
I don't know how many eggs were in a quart with this year, but there'll be.
There's a lot of eggs.
There's about 2 million eggs here, and there's almost 3 batteries full.
Wow.
So.
All right, hang tight. We're going to be back with more. Where are we now?
So once the eggs hatch,
they
spend some time in the incubators, and then when they absorb their yolk sac and they're ready to start swimming up, inflating their air bladders and feeding, then they're brought into the start tank room. And this area is where most of the fish spend most of their time.
Okay.
So right now it's springtime, so we're stocking Chinooks and cohos and steelhead. What's in this tank is these are the Chinooks that we're taking this October.
And so this October, so what was that, 4 months, 5 months ago?
5-6 months ago.
So that's how old they are.
So they get fed right here, fish food.
And it's really
It's
small.
extruded. It changes with the size of the fish, of course.
Right.
We use a very, very small mash to start with when they're very small and their mouth parts are small, and then it graduates up as they get big.
Folks, we'll be back. Chris Bates, boy, what a educational trip I took through the fish hatchery with you. First off, I want to say thank you very much for spending time with us.
You're very welcome.
It's awesome. New York has, I'm going to say New York State has a really top quality facility, top quality personnel, everybody, top quality.
Thank you very
much. But, some of the things about the fish hatchery, you may or may not be able to answer this, but, where do you see this going for the next 10 years? I usually like 10-year cycles because, things are going to change. But do you see it getting bigger and better? Do you see it staying the same? Like, where do you see it as a manager of a facility like this?
Well, we've put a large amount of money and effort into improving this facility. I don't see that as changing. I think fish culture in general in New York is going to see some really neat improvements, some really interesting changes. There's some projects going on that are going to maybe change the landscape a little bit. I think the big driver of this fish hatchery, the Chinook fishery, seems to be leaning more towards a supplement. We're supplementing a natural fishery that seems to be showing up more and more.
Right.
There's more and more natural reproduction in these places, which is a good thing. It says that the environment supports that natural reproduction. So it's a challenge for managers to do that, but I don't see this facility going anywhere anytime soon. There's a lot of infrastructure in all facilities that always needs work. I think that our New York's commitment to this facility is strong. There's a good pool of money that's being spent at this facility, and there's projects that go out several years that we're going to be working on, and we're always trying to improve our methods. We're always trying to do the right thing for the sportsmen and women that support us. And we take our job, as you can tell, very seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you guys are open. You have a wonderful welcome center. I guess it's called the welcome center, right?
So we consider it our visitor center, but yeah. Anyway, that'll work.
We're going to get some footage of this when we're done. But you know, how many visitors do you know off the top of your head that possibly come through this facility?
It's obviously it's a slow time because it's just springtime, but yeah, we can get probably between 30 and 50,000 visitors come through this place a year.
Wow. That's
oftentimes in the fall when the salmon run is going on and everybody wants to come see the big fish and see the egg take. We'll get almost 2,000 visitors a day.
Yeah.
That come through this place.
So I was looking at one of the videos. Is there a wall that's buttoned right up against the river, like a glass wall, or is that a different fish hatchery?
There's not. It might be a different fish. You can walk down to our at the end of the fish ladder. There's a viewing platform.
Yeah.
But there's no place that you can get down into the river. No, that's not at this facility.
It was a different fish hatchery. But all right, well, thank you so much for everything.
You're very
This
welcome.
is a wonderful facility. And folks, if you ever are in Pulaski, New York, stop by the fish hatchery. Say hi to Thomas for me, will you, please? All right. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
All right, folks, we'll be back with another episode next week.
Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped is brought to you in part by White Rock's Design Studio at Turcotte Design, who has been serving Southern Vermont for over 20 years. Fish Donkey, the future of tournament fishing. Targets Unlimited, Mercer Sports. Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped hot sauce with that big craft heat and that big craft taste. Corker Boots, P-Line, Sugar Mountain Trading Company. The Outdoor Experience Guide Service, who has been serving Southern Wisconsin for over 20 years. Cooler Guard Spray with the cleaning power of enzymes. Okuma Fishing, Hoffman Lures Incorporated, and a proud member of the Southwest Chamber of Commerce.
We'll meet you again. May God bless you. Adios. Wise men say only fools rush in. But I can't help falling in love